Hi there, I'm Camila Campuzano, the Community Manager of Montessori Thrive and Nido Marketing. Welcome to the Nido Marketing YouTube channel, where every week I make videos to help Montessori school leaders market their school, grow their enrollment, and find a sense of support and leadership online. This week, I'm going to be talking all about a big debate in the Montessori marketing space, and that is publishing strategies for your tuition rates and whether or not you should be gating your tuition. This is an extremely touchy subject in the Montessori marketing community. We know tuition is always a difficult conversation to have with prospective parents, and it's something that they're dying to know when they come on your website and they learn more about Montessori and your school. So it's important to have a strategy or a way to approach the conversation in a way that is informative and educational. So let's talk about different tuition publishing strategies in the Montessori space. First of all, I want to talk about why you as a school might be a little bit hesitant to gate your tuition, because as Montessori marketers, we hear a lot of the reasons why schools are not always so open to gating their tuition. And this means that you don't list your tuition directly on your website. Instead, you have to request that information if you're a prospective parent in order to have access to it. And it's a tricky subject to approach because, as a school, especially in the Montessori space, we're always scared of coming across as salesy. That's not the type of community we are. We want to be really transparent with our families. We want them to have the information ready for them. We want to be the easy choice. So this is where tuition becomes a little bit of a tricky subject. So we hear this a lot in the Montessori space, and that is that gating your tuition comes across as too salesy. And while you may think that at first, there's a reason why it's not necessarily always true. The reality is you are going to be losing parents on your website if your tuition is there just, top of the page when they click on that tuition tab and there's no information other than just the tuition. They're going to go there first. This is the biggest pain point for parents. So from a marketing perspective, it's challenging to put that directly on your website sometimes because you're going to have that so many times where families are going to your website, they're clicking on tuition, they look at it, it's way out of their budget, and they're just going to go explore other options before they even got to know you, before they understand the benefits of Montessori, before they see the classroom in action, before they understand why it costs what it costs. So you're losing them before you get to break everything down, before you get to properly know them, and before you really get a proper introduction to them. So it's not necessarily a salesy approach. It's more of, hey, we want to get to know you first before we talk about, the difficult conversation, which is, the cost, the biggest pain point. Another issue that a lot of schools have when it comes to gating their tuition is, it doesn't come across as transparent. This isn't always the case. Now it's quite normal for many schools to not always have the tuition on their website. It's not always expected anymore. So you're not necessarily not being transparent. The best solution to this problem is if you're gating your tuition online, have a parent fill out a very simple form. I'll show you what that looks like shortly. And then immediately deliver the information in their email. So you're being transparent. You're immediately delivering what they're asking for. But in that packet that has the information on tuition, you're also giving them so much more information about the benefits of Montessori, why it costs what it costs, how much it costs to actually deliver and provide an authentic Montessori program. So you still are being transparent. There's just that extra layer that parents are going to have to go through. And again, this is normal on a parent's school search journey. So you're not being transparent by gating your tuition per se. Also, there's that concern of, it feels like we're being annoying to prospective families. We're giving them that extra obstacle. In reality, a school search journey is not easy for a parent. They're going to have a lot of options. They're going to be doing research. Your school deserves the benefit of explaining and breaking down the cost before just scaring parents away and not even getting a chance to talk to them or really provide, information about why you cost, or look into our classrooms to see for yourself where the value is. So that's just kind of our cases when it comes to gating your tuition. And we want to make sure that you understand that gating your tuition is not always the wrong choice. It doesn't always come across as salesy. You're not necessarily not being transparent. While it might not be the right choice for your school, as ultimately that's the decision that you have to make, we just want to make sure these misconceptions kind of are out of the way. But the good news is there are other great tuition publishing strategies for your school. So let's get into some of those as well. So if you're very firm about wanting to be completely transparent on your school website, you want to have the tuitions there, you don't want to include any obstacles for parents to see your tuition, there is an alternative for you, and we're going to talk about it because this is a great strategy for publishing your tuition rates online, which we completely are on board if you want to do that as a school. Here's how you can do it in a way that's going to benefit you and going to educate the families as well. So, creating a tuition landing page. So when you're going on that tuition page, if you don't want to gate it, make it an experience of exploration for that parent. Creating a landing page that leads parents to tuition rates is so informative. You can actually make it an experience. You can start off with the unique benefits, lead with what is going to be the value in Montessori for that family. You can list it out, be creative, talk about what you've seen. You can include testimonials, talk about why parents are so in love with Montessori in your community, why it's so valuable, etc. This is a great way to ease them into what the price might be. Then you can include relevant content. This is content such as, again, evidence supporting the benefits of Montessori, testimonials. You can include videos. If you have a video about your school community with happy parents and alumni, include that in the tuition page as well. This way, parents can really get to know you and your school, and they can envision themselves being a part of your community. They can see the benefits listed out right in front of them. Right there, they're already understanding the value. And then at the very bottom of this landing page, you can include the tuition rates. Be sure to provide several calls to action. What we mean by this is buttons to schedule a tour, buttons to call us to ask questions, any white papers or lead generators, things like this are going to help you with the tuition landing page. And I think that, they might be willing to hand over their email information so you can follow up with them as well. Address affordability as well. If you have any financial aid options, include this as part of your tuition landing page. This gives parents hope that, maybe if it's not in our budget, there are options so that my child can still receive all of these benefits and the value behind Montessori. So if you include all of this on one beautiful landing page for tuition, it's a much more strategic way to publish your tuition immediately on your website while still getting the benefits of educating families, touching base with them, and being able to check in with them if they do end up filling out a call to action, such as scheduling a tour or filling out a lead generator so that you have access to their email and you can then follow up with some email nurtures and just check-ins. It's important to have a strategy when it comes to your tuition. You definitely don't just want to immediately list it on there, because then that's usually the place that parents will go to first and then immediately leave if they don't like what they see. So at least with this strategy and approach, you're forcing them to scroll all the way to the bottom of the landing page. It's still immediately on your website for easy access, but there's all this lead up information that really shows the value of your Montessori school, so the prospective parent understands that. All right, so before we get into our alternative strategy for publishing your tuition rates on your website, let's talk about how a website with a gated tuition would look like. And for this, we're going to use our Nido site. It's nidosite.com. It's our sample Montessori school website. You're welcome to view it as a resource for building out your own website. But basically, it should be pretty easy to get your tuition online. So basically, here's our sample website. Under admissions, you see our tuition and fees information. A parent would click here. Oh, we have one of our pop-ups. So you click on that as a parent, and you see here, tuition varies by program. Complete this form to receive instant access to tuition rates for your child. So again, you're still being transparent. You're still delivering what they want immediately to them. It's just that extra layer that's very quick. You want to keep this form very simple. So we have your first name, last name, email, phone number, and then what program are you interested in? An easy drop down to make that as simple as possible. As soon as they click this request tuition information, they will receive a tuition form immediately to that email that they provided. This tuition form will include some more information about the benefits of Montessori, why it costs what it costs, how much it's actually worth delivering a authentic Montessori program, etc. And in exchange, you have the email address of the parent and the phone number so you can call them to follow up. You can send them an email nurture. We have a great YouTube video on email nurtures that you can send during the admissions process. I recommend taking a look at that as well, but using an email nurture, and you get to just touch base with that parent and introduce yourself to them more properly. So gating your tuition is a great option, and this is what it can look like on your Montessori school website. I hope you found this video helpful. We know tuition strategy is a huge part of your Montessori marketing strategy. I'd love to hear your approaches and your strategies that have worked for your Montessori school when it comes to tuition. Do you get your tuition? Do you have it directly on your website? Do you have a landing page of sorts when it comes to publishing your tuition? I'd love to hear it and love to hear your different approaches to publishing your tuition. I'll be back next week with another Montessori marketing video. Until then, take care.